Okay, real talk. How many times have you stopped yourself from doing something big because you were worried about the cost? I've been there. And maybe it's time, maybe it's money, maybe it's just the effort, but it feels like a huge gap, right? You see what you're going to have to give up and think, you know what? Nah, it's not worth it. But let me ask you this. What if you're focusing on the wrong thing? What if that gap that you're so worried about is actually a distraction from everything that you are about to gain? Here's the deal: the real magic happens when you invest in yourself, even when it feels scary. And guys, scary is good. That means that you are growing. But I get it. We all have that little voice in our head saying, what if it doesn't pay off, right? Today, we're flipping the mindset, and I'm going to show you why focusing on the gain instead of the gap is everything, and how this one shift can literally change your life. Are you ready? I really, really needed to do this video because I've seen so many people who are depriving themselves from their best version, from what it could be, just because of fear of they not having the time or not having the resources or not having X, Y, or Z. And I literally was them several years ago. I was them. And I'm so happy that I was able to navigate through that, because what is on the other side is amazing, it's priceless. And that's exactly what I want to talk to you today. And if you're new to the channel, welcome, bienvenido, bienvenida. My name is Jennie Lopez, and I empower you to be your most authentic self, your best authentic self, because that's whenever you do your best work. And honestly, I love sharing the lessons learned, the wisdom, anything to accelerate your journey towards your goal, and just create this movement where all of us are inspiring each other, getting to these amazing goals, but not sacrificing who we are, doing it in a very authentic way so we can inspire each other and serve as role models for others. So pretty much I'm here to help you. Now there's one way that you can help me, and it's by subscribing to the channel, because the bigger we get, the more traction, the more I can amplify this message, and we can help each other creating this community that I'm talking about. All right, so let's get to the topic. So my journey about investing in myself started several years ago, and after having a successful career, I just got to the point that I just felt stagnant. I knew that I could give so much more, but at the end of the day, it was not up to me where I was gonna go next. I felt like a little chip on a board game, and everybody else was in charge of my destiny but myself. So that, and the combination of feeling like I'm swimming against the current and I'm out of control, and everybody keeps saying, you own your journey and you drive your destiny and you drive your career. But what I felt was the opposite. Like, no, I don't. I have no voice. They own it. They decide what is next for me. And I felt it was the worst feeling. I felt trapped. I don't know if you can relate to that. I literally felt trapped. And I thought that I was handling okay. I'm like, okay, well, I feel like that, but when I get home, I'm just gonna cover up and it's okay, right? All good. And my husband realized, he even asked me, are you okay? You used to talk about your work and everything and so excited. Now you don't even bring it up and refuse to talk about it. And I realized that this stuff that was bothering me at work, it was also bothering me in the most important aspects of my life, which was my relationship with my husband, my relationship with my kids. I was in burnout mode. And then I said, okay, what options do I have? Because continue to doing the same thing and expecting a different result, you and I know what that's the definition of insanity. And then I kept talking, I kept hearing about, well, there's this, you can invest in yourself, because just don't wait for the supervisor to give you a development opportunity, or for the company to decide if or not they're going to invest in yourself for a leadership training or a conference. What can you do? What can you do? And again, my mind went to two places. I don't have time. And believe me, I was a really busy woman, because not only I had my career, I was also a fitness instructor. I had another business on that. I had two little kids. I was, well, I'm still a wife, but many, many hats, many, many roles. So
yes, I have no time, and I put it on quotation because honestly, there's always time. The trick is how to be intentional with it, but that could be for another subject. So if you want me to go in depth on that, let me know, because I love extracting everything out of the day that we have in a way that is with harmony, but you're not like completely burned out and you keep moving progress. But going back, have no time, and then oof, I don't want to invest. I don't have money. I don't have money, right? That's too expensive. People talked about coaches, people talk about trainings. So I started with the thing that caused the least friction, if that makes sense. Yes. So for me, it was okay, training. I can invest $200 in these, or maybe $100 here, and perhaps $300 here. That's okay. And yes, I invested in a lot of training. But you know what? We're in a world that information is in our fingertips. You can go to Google, you can go to YouTube, you can go to ChatGPT. Information is everywhere. So what I realized I needed to invest is in the implementation, right? And that's where things like coaches and leaders and thought leaders come in play. But that was totally new to me. Like I've never been in that world before. And I remember the first time that somebody told me, this was the first big price tag, and probably sharing more here, but I'll be completely honest with you. I took this training and I said, yay, so what's next? What's next is coaching and just getting to a different level, a level that maybe you feel uneasy because it's outside of your comfort zone, but I knew I needed to step there for me to feel that I'm making progress and I'm growing, because obviously doing nothing, it was not going to take me anywhere. I even asked myself, Jenny, it's either that or you do nothing, and are you going to be okay 10 years from now feeling the way you're feeling right now, even worse, right? Because with time, all of that get worse. And I was thinking, goodness, 10 years from now, if I get worse, the impact that was gonna have not just in me, but in my kids, is saying, no, we cannot do that. Like, that's not an option. So investing in myself is an option, and I'm gonna navigate through that, because obviously if I think something is really expensive, is because also I have a limiting belief that not only stepping is stopping me from obtaining this thing, this training or this coach, but it's stopping my growth and my potential and my impact. And not only the impact on myself, the impact on other people, including my family. So when I heard the first price tag of $14,000, I almost puked. I'm like, what? I don't have that money. Yes, like I was sweating. But honestly, I remember my husband and I were taking that training together, and we said, we're doing this. We are doing this because the return on investment on the person that we're going to become, on the momentum that we're going to get towards the goals that we have, is priceless. And I'm telling you, that was many years ago. And since then, the investment have only gone up. But so the results, so the impact that I'm having, so is the results of my business and my family and the clients that I serve. So it is wonderful on the other side, but it's getting to that hump, right? So let me give you some strategies, though, what has helped me through that decision of deciding on when to invest and what to invest on, and focusing on the gain. All right, number one is to focus on the gain. There's a wonderful book out there that is The Gap versus the Gain, and it's amazing. So strongly recommend it. I've read it twice now. But to summarize it really quick is to focus on the gain. Tony Robbins says it really well. Where focus goes, energy flows. And you know how many times I have caught myself just like thinking about all the bad things that can happen, all the things that I don't have yet. And whenever you're focusing on that, what happens? You get paralyzed. You're not advancing towards that goal, that next goal of yours. So instead of that, you focus on the progress, on the gain, on the things that you're acquiring to make that goal a reality. And I know sometimes when I say goal, people are thinking, okay, probably we're talking about career or business, but it can be personal too. I have actually a client that obviously we're working on her professional goals, but also on her personal goals. And one of her goals is really finding that partner of her dreams. And guess what? For a whole meeting, she kept talking about the gap. Well, I don't know if I'm ready yet. I don't know if I'm worthy yet. And I have a limiting belief that maybe I find somebody that it's gonna steal my time away from my kids, and maybe the person doesn't have the same interest that I have. Maybe I'm gonna go all in and then that person is gonna disappoint me. She was focusing on all the potential bad things. She was focusing on a big gap, yes, versus focusing on, I said, okay, good, you let it out, right? Yay. Now we're gonna flip the script, and instead of focusing on all the gap and all the things that could be that are many of them are stories, they're not even realities, yes, let's focus on the gain. What if you truly find that partner of your dreams? What could it be? How would that make you feel? What is the person that you're becoming? What does that mean to you and to your kids? Yes, and we started going on that, and she broke down because it's the first time that actually she started thinking about what could it be. And that's the whole concept about focusing on the game, focusing on the progress, thinking about, okay, this didn't work out, but okay, I learned this. Yes, so I'm going to continue to go and move forward instead of thinking, oh, but I don't have this, I don't have that. Okay, you don't have it yet. Perhaps, yes, maybe it's a story, maybe it's a fact. If it's a fact, you don't have it yet, but you will acquire, you will figure it out. And there are always ways to control your mindset, to focus on the gain and focus on the progress. Because once you get to the goal, you celebrate for a hot second, and then there will be another goal after that, right? Because there's nothing good that comes from being stagnant. So enjoy the progress, enjoy the gain, focus on the gain, and that's really the beauty of life, to continue to grow and progress forward. Okay, number two is to be very clear on the next goal that you have. Because if we're not really clear on what that next goal, we could get trapped on the FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. And then everything that you see, it looks so good, right? It'd be like, oh, that networking opportunity, and maybe this coach, and maybe this training, and this activity, and this conference, and everything looks like a shiny toy, a shiny new toy, and you want to go. But whenever you're clear, then you know how to best prioritize your needs. And then based on your needs, then you start prioritizing what are the tools. Where do you need to invest next? Number three, where to invest. In my mind, or at least in my experience, there has been three buckets. Number one is training, okay? Training on knowledge, training on skills, training on mindset. And my goodness, I didn't put it on the right order. I will say you start with mindset because success is 80% mindset. And this thing here, our mindset can be our best friend or our worst enemy. So this is the things that I invest on. What are the skills that I need? What is the knowledge that I need? Yes. And then the other thing is, from a mindset perspective, how can I continue to nurture it and grow it? Now, the second bucket is implementation. Like I mentioned before, really information these days is on our fingertips, but then it's the implementation. Are you gonna learn it and then try to figure out how to do it? Or are you gonna invest in a leader, in a coach, in a mentor that is gonna help you accelerate the journey? Because they have already done all the lessons learned, and now they can help you and teach you how to accelerate your journey. So for me, that's investing on my implementation, on the acceleration of my journey, in making sure that not only they're gonna teach me how to expedite, but I have that accountability partner. I have that person that is gonna have my back, yes? And then finding a person, you have to mesh energy. You have to do your research, because there's been people that they're wonderful. Like even my husband will say, oh my goodness, this person in YouTube, they're amazing, check this out. And then I listen to the episode and I'm so turned off because it's not my energy. Like the person is in your face and do or die and just way too intense. And I have a different energy. But sometimes I will be showing him, hey, look at this person. I really love one day, will love one day to work with them. And he will say, really? I don't connect with them, but that's not the person for them. So do your research, and it has to be somebody that understands you and you can connect. They have that same energy, and there's that value alignment as well. So that's really, really important, at least in my experience. And the third bucket is, I was trying to think about, do I label environment or proximity? And it's a combination of both, yes? So from proximity perspective, I'm talking about the networkings. I'm talking about these groups or masterminds. I'm talking about these, groups of people that you guys have the same mindset, the same goals, and you're working together, yes? Perhaps it's with people that they are a couple of steps ahead of you, and you're thinking, oh goodness, what do I do here? What am I doing here? But sometimes those ones are good because they're pushing you forward, right? Instead of you being the one pushing other forwards, they're pushing you forward and accelerating your journey. So I sometimes, even though it feels so weird, and sometimes those limiting beliefs come like, what are you doing here, Jenny? When I get that feeling, I'm thinking I'm in the right place because this means I'm gonna grow. I'm gonna make amazing connections here. So this is what I'm talking about, that proximity. Yes. The other piece about environment is making sure that you switch it up. You put yourself in different opportunities, in different memories, in different activities, in different circumstances that is a really growth opportunity for you. Okay. For example, I went to Africa last year. Never in my mind I had that on my bucket list, and now it's the best place that I have ever been. I went to New Zealand this year. In a couple of months, I'm gonna go to Dubai and India. So how do you get out of your comfort zone and get yourself just experiencing new things that continue to add perspective and growth in your life? And is being amazing, and this is something that I prioritize, and I continue. Every time I do a different experience like that, I come back a new person in a good way. So these are the buckets that I was telling you, like the training. Then the other one is more about like the implementation piece, and then the third one is that proximity slash environment. So important. Be resourceful. Be resourceful because this is the investment in you. In you is the best investment you can have. And not only that's going to impact you, but it's going to impact those that you love the most. Yes. And in my experience, every time I've done an investment, I go for it and I follow through because, hey, I made that investment. I might as well do everything I can and extract every learning and accelerate my journey as much as I can, because this is investment that I have to be resourceful to make it happen. But here I am. And then what happens is that I have grown. Promotions came, from a career perspective. And then I started my own business. And now I am breaking a new ceiling, right? So there's always, and this is just from a money perspective, yes? There's always, every time you invest in yourself, that investment gets bigger and bigger, and then your access to things and knowledge and proximity and environments continue to grow as well. So I don't even know how to tell you and reinforce this point about how important it is to prioritize the investment in yourself. And I always think, like, say it, hey, if your kid, if you are a parent, or maybe somebody that you love, not your kid, but somebody that you love, they really need you to help them, even from a money perspective or from a time perspective or focus perspective. I always say that you will figure out a way on how to be there for them, how to show up. Show up, show up, not show up, show up. So this is really important. So do the same thing. Prioritize yourself like that other person that you love. And again, ultimately, this is also going to help them, not just you, because you continue to upgrade yourself as a person, your skills, your experience. And this is now how, in my example, how I'm raising kids, right? With all this knowledge, it's different. I'm creating new opportunities for them, a new mindset for them. And it's just really an exciting journey. But it's that first step of investing in yourself more than you ever thought. I am not taking that for granted. That's a big step. And I'm telling you, I was sweating like crazy. I probably didn't sleep that first night. But after that, it's nothing but good that has come up from that first investment. So I cannot reinforce anymore how important is the investment in yourself. If it's focus, if it's time, if it's money, whatever that resource is just gonna make you a better you. So to summarize, remember to focus on the gain, not the gap, the gain. And then number two, have clarity on what is that next goal of yours. Dream big, because I'm telling you, anything that your imagination can dream is there because it's there for you. You can make it happen. You're limited by the quality of your imagination, hands down. Number three, I share with you the buckets at least that I have prioritized for investment, for personal investment. If it's the training piece slash skills, or if it's the having the coach, the leader, the accountability partner, or maybe it's that environment slash proximity, super important. And then last but not least, be resourceful. There's always a way to figure things out. Tony Robbins also teaches that one option is no option. Two options is a dilemma, right? You either do this or don't do it. There's always three, at least three options on how you can make things happen. And if you get out of ideas, guys, again, information in our fingertips. Just go to ChatGPT and say, hey, this is my circumstance. I really, really want to invest in this. Give me some ideas. Give me 10, 20, 100 ideas on how I can make this happen. There's always a way. There is always a way. All right, if this video resonated with you, please let me know. For me, this message is so important. I really needed to do a video to help you. And if you have anything in terms of limiting beliefs or money, or just let me know. I'm here getting feedback from you so I can do the best videos for you so they can help you. All right, so for now, make sure you check on the next video too. All right, subscribe and help us grow and learn together.